My League, me and Dante Corrado are still up here in the booth. Just past the halfway point now. Back here for part 2 of the broadcast. If you were tuning into this one first, I would recommend going back and watching the first half of the broadcast so you can see how everything played out up to this point. But we still got a hell of a race going on. A lot of guys battling it out. Jack McKevitt just had an incident off of track I was hearing from Dante.
Yeah, I don't know if he had any help or if he just kind of missed the braking zone, but he did go off into the dirt. He didn't lose too much time, but I think he did lose a position or two there. He was battling with E3 and Cross. And like I said, I think these guys kind of need to just kind of work together right now. I really think this is either going to come down to Colin just kind of running his own race. He's got still a pretty big lead. It's down a little less than it was. It's down under 7 seconds, not back up. Colin is just so strong through these S's, but I really think this is either going to come down to Colin or Javen right now, unless something miraculous happens for the other drivers.
And Javen Tucker is on pit lane at the moment. He's going to bring that number 99 machine down pit road. He's going to get serviced. Oh, Colin McKevitt's off into the gravel. That's going to help him lose some time. But he's still going to cycle out into lead, I believe. But how close will Tucker be?
I think Javen's going to fall behind the top 4 here. I think he's going to cycle out into 5th. Gavin's coming through the chicane now. I think Javen should be able to get out in front of him. He's opted to go on the soft tires. He will come out in P5 here. Not too far off of Jack. Yeah, I think, like I said, Colin going off, though, really kind of opened the door for these other 3 drivers. But if they're going to have to make that extra pit stop, Javen, I think it's going to be really hard to beat that 99 car if he's only making a 1 stop.
Yeah, but 1 stop could be shattered if weather is to come and hit the racetrack. So I'd keep one eye on the radar and 1 eye on this battle. But only a 4.5 second advantage right now for Colin McKevitt. He's starting to build it back up slowly but surely. But Tucker's definitely on the fastest tires on the racetrack before them things wear out. So if he could gain some time and some weather hit, man, he could be in the catbird seat coming to the end of this thing.
For sure, and I think Colin's going to gather it back up here. I think he's going to be able to focus. I think with a lead that big, you know, you never want to make a mistake, but he certainly could give something up there, and as long as he keeps it on the track for the rest of this race, I think he's still definitely in the catbird seat, and like I said, it's, you know, either Colin or Javen right now, unless Colin makes another mistake. We'll see if these other 3 drivers can work together to catch the leader here, but it's definitely been an exciting race so far, and it's going to be a pretty exciting finish. But Javen's really not that far off of these top 3 either, and I think that's what's probably scaring, actually the top 4 I should say, probably them.
And Cross already has just caught David Pinkston for P2, so if these 2 get to battling, that could back up these guys and easily you know, put Javen Tucker and Jack McKevitt back in this battle. But you take a look, they have actually gained a lot of time on Colin McKevitt. Colin McKevitt's lead is under 4.5 seconds now, and he was just losing a little bit of time. So
and I think if they just keep working together, I think if they're just, you know, just right behind nose to tail like that, I think that's definitely going to be a little more advantage having the draft. They can just get like a little sniff of just the rear end of that leader. I really think that they're going to be able to catch him.
Now, Dante, I know you had some betting lines going into this race. Who was the drivers that you picked on your betting odds to win this thing?
Well, I really felt like Colin had the best shot. He qualified on pole. I think he's also been really strong here before. It's really hard to bet against both the McKevitt brothers. I definitely had Javen up there. E3 was also another one. But Cross is definitely... we didn't even know if he was going to show tonight, so it's really nice to see him out here. He kind of was able to suit up there and get in the car and get out there. We didn't have a line made for him, but if we did, it certainly would have been a pretty good one for him as well. I would put my money on Cross. He's another guy that kind of seems to find his way at the end of these things as well, and would not count him out by any means. It's just going to come down to if these guys can, like I said, work together to catch that leader. I definitely, another line, I definitely want to see Zay win 1 race sometime. I think we all do want to see that, and I think you should definitely start putting your money on Isaiah, the driver of the day. I think he's definitely been showing improvement week to week, and it would... Oh, as he spins, no! Oh, I spoke too early.
Oh, no, Isaiah Smith around in the back of the pack.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Oh, Cross went a little wide. He had to go through the chicane there. He gives up the time. I think he just missed the entrance into the first corner there. He's going to lose a little bit of time to E3.
Everyone's still able to keep it going straight, though. Tucker is making a massive use of those softs. He is cutting down the lead on Jack McKevitt.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying, but another car that's flying is E3. And like I said, you know, E3 comes alive at the end of these races, and he is really running down Colin without any help from Cross behind him right now. They've kind of all spread out. E3 is just a little bit out of that range of getting the draft of the lead car, and I really think as soon as he gets that, I think he's going to be able to pull right up there. Colin missed the corner just a little bit, and I think these guys are all kind of struggling on these tires right now, but I mean, the lead is down almost under 2 seconds.
Yeah, we could have a heck of a race here because I think David Pinkston is bringing that rest of that top 5 along with him, because I think they're just on the edge of his draft. So you see, that would bring, you know, Jack McKevitt, Javen Tucker, Cross all back into this lead battle.
Yeah, I definitely think we're going to be set up for a really, really good finish here. It's really hard not to love these cars at this in particular track. It's just always a great sight. You know, the racing has not disappointed, especially from that second to fourth battle. I think E3 Cross and Jack have put on a great battle, but it's about to be a top 5 here. I'm not sure if Gavin's going to be able to find the willpower to fight his way back up into there, but these top 5 are all going to be nose to tail here, and I think we're going to have a really good finish.
Be a good finish for Isaiah Smith. P7 finish is not bad. They've been struggling to find some speed, but man, when they've been close to getting a win, and I know we've all been hoping for him to get a win here soon.
For sure, I do think the fans absolutely love Isaiah Smitty, and it would definitely be nice. And you know, I think his best chances are on tracks like Daytona. I think he was running up at the front of the field during the opener there, and you know, something about I think it's gonna come. I really do. I think Zay's gonna get his first win here soon. He never has to worry about losing a driver of the day, so that's awesome. But I think everyone would be absolutely ecstatic, and there would be a huge party going on if Isaiah was able to find victory lane here soon.
Under 2 seconds separate the top 2 now. David Pinkston Jr. is working on Colin McKevitt. He is about to be right there with him if he keeps this up.
Yeah, E3 is absolutely flying through these corners. And, you know, he's always definitely hard to beat.
That's another thing too. You know, Colin McKevitt, he's had, you know, the clean air, not had to worry about anyone this entire race. And I know this from real world racing. I know you probably know this too from racing, and I know a lot of these guys know this. But once you see that car pop up in your rear view mirror, you start to feel that pressure. And I bet you him seeing David Pinkston coming creeping a little bit closer and closer each and every lap, that could force him to make a mistake. You know, force him to push a braking zone too hard. You know, that could easily lead him to mess up.
Absolutely, and Colin's kind of got to worry about 2 things, because E3 is quicker than him right now, but also we still got to remember that if Javen is able to one-stop this and these guys aren't, I think this might just fall right into the clutches of the 99. It did get a little more cloudy out. I'm not sure if there's any weather on the way yet. Definitely precipitation would throw a wrench in everybody's plan. But it'll also kind of equal out everybody. Everyone would probably have to go onto a certain wet tire. And if everyone's on the same playing field, it can fill up, then, you know, it's going to just be a dash to the end here. But you gotta have your money on Javen right now. I really think that should be able to pull this off here if he's.
He is working together with Jack McKevitt. I saw him giving him a shove through that last turn. They're trying to work together to gain this lead draft. Pinkston just barely out of the range of that slipstream.
Yeah, he's down. He's back to 2 seconds. I think he had it down to 1.6 there. He kind of lost a little bit of time. But Colin seems to kind of be struggling through the chicanes here. He got through there pretty good, but last lap, that's where he lost a lot of his time. But I think he just gained about 3/10 there.
Yeah, David Pinkston messed up a little bit on the entry of that one, so I was able to give McKevitt just a little bit of time. Looks a little hazy outside. You see anything popping up on the radar around here?
Still says nothing for about 50 miles. I would definitely love to see some rain here. I think that would make the race really, really chaotic. But unfortunately, I don't see anything on the radar. I think it's just a really drowsy day outside. think Isaiah Smitty is into the pits here, driver of the day, and Gavin, I don't know, I think I might have missed that. Sorry if you did say it, but he did run the fastest lap of the race.
Oh, Gavin Morrison, fast lap of the race. That's a really, really fast lap, actually. A lot of these guys running 3:30, so a 3:28 is a hell of a lap.
Yeah, it seems like Gavin had the speed this weekend. Like I said, that Porsche just absolutely takes off the corners. Definitely has the best acceleration, but he might have made a few mistakes. I know that that 4-car incident that ended up spitting Zay, unfortunately, I believe he got some damage from that, and that might have set him back quite a bit.
He ran two 3:28s back to back. So I think if anyone's making a push to the end, it's definitely Gavin Morrison.
It would be cool to see Gavin back in victory lane too. I think it's been a little bit since he's won one, and he's always a good sport out here. He's definitely talented, and I think he'll be back up to the front of the field here soon. Just this might not have been his race here. See, Colin has kind of had a really good lap here. He's pulled away again from E3. I think Colin's kind of just gathering up, finding his rhythm again. Once you fall out of the rhythm, it's kind of hard to regroup yourself. You kind of have to take a lap or two and just kind of find your line again. And I think Colin's kind of found that. But the windshield wipers are on, by the way. My radar said there was nothing on, and they're diving into the pits here, Miles.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly is going on. I do hear some rain coming down, I believe, so a lot of these guys are ducking on the pit lane.
Yeah, everybody is coming into the pits. I definitely saw the windshield wipers on, and there are raindrops. I just don't think I have the right data right now, but this is gonna get crazy. This is gonna
looking at the in-car camera on Isaiah Smith, there is a lot of precipitation coming down the racetrack, and the rain it's getting wet fast out there. Will they go to heavy wets? Will they go to intermediates is the question.
I'm honestly not sure. I feel like intermediates might be the right choice here. I don't really know how wet it is. I cannot tell on the data. We're just going to kind of use our eyes here. Colin has gone to full wets. He's pulled out, did not take a full tank of gas. I think that was smart. I think, obviously you just got to take just the amount that you need to get to the end. I think E3 has gone on intermediates. Jack is on wets. I could not tell what Javen has going on.
A lot of these guys on wets, I believe Pinkston is the only one on intermediates. That could be the decision that wins him this race. Look at the jump that Tucker got in the pit road.
Yeah, he had to take a lot less fuel than these other guys, so he definitely was able to jump them. He got in front of E3. That is really important, but these guys are about 5 seconds behind Colin. It is absolutely pouring down there. I do think heavy wets might be the move right now, but if it starts drying out really quickly, those heavy wets are going to die even quicker than the intermediates.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out for sure. Pinkston with those faster intermediates already putting the pressure on Javen Tucker for that P2 spot. Here he comes to the inside.
Made light work of that one. That was a very easy pass. Javen's just going to follow back in line here. Colin just jumped the curve there, but I think he's okay.
Now this game, it could flip completely on its head, because you could be really good here in the dry, but be really bad here in the wet. So can Colin McKevitt keep it going? Because all of your braking points and everything completely change as soon as that track gets wet.
Yeah, and it seems like Javen's kind of just trying to follow suit behind E3 right now. I think they also think they need to work together to kind of catch the leader, because now, I mean, strategy's really out of the play here, unless it dries out super quickly and they come back down, because everyone has enough fuel, everyone has new tires.
Oh, Tucker goes around at a P3! Heavy damage to the rear end of the 99 machine. That could spell disaster for his race.
Absolutely, and I saw Colin get a little squirrely right through that corner right before that happened. And E3 had a little bit of an adventure getting off of it too.
Colin missed the turn!
The screen. Oh no.
The rain.
Absolutely, yeah, the track condition is absolutely atrocious out there right now. This is going to get really interesting to see if these guys can keep it on track.
I wonder how those intermediates are holding up for David Pinkston. Pinkston actually still holding on to P2. The bar on the moisture meter is just barely still inside that middle range.
Yeah, I think surprisingly, E3 has made the least amount of mistakes out of everybody so far since the rain has started.
And he is gaining a lot of time on that leader. But we're closing in on 10 minutes to go here in a little bit.
Yeah, we're definitely getting down to the good stuff here.
I'm not seeing any more big raindrops on the windshield for these drivers.
Yeah, the windshield wipers are not moving anymore. I think it stopped raining. So, I mean, this could be another wrench. I don't know if someone further back is going to try to stay out if this track dries out, and maybe they could. I think Cross had a moment because Gavin has gotten around him, and they are running nose to tail now. But Cross
Ooh,
has fallen
Tucker way off the racetrack.
David's
He's in the
off.
gravel, hard into the outside wall.
Woo! That was crazy right there, and that's going to let Gavin and Cross get right to the back bumper of him, I think.
Tucker has been just falling apart ever since this moisture hit the racetrack.
It seems like his car is definitely struggling the most out of anyone to stay on the track.
Still holding on the P4, so not a bad finish if it were to end right now. But this could be really tough. Will these guys, will these wets be able to hang on to the end if they choose to stay out? Because it depends on how fast this track dries up if it doesn't rain again.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not seeing any movement on the windshield wipers, so I don't think it's raining at all. So this might clear up here, and we'll see if these tires die so quick that these guys got to go back to the dry tires. There's still 12 minutes left in this race. That's about 3 to 4 laps left of racing here, so it's going to be really interesting to see if someone behind might be able. I think there's another moment somebody has spun, and it's Gavin, and just unlucky day.
Yeah, a lot of guys having really troublesome days so far. A lot of technical issues, a lot of just bad moments, but looks like the dry line is already starting to forming a ton. So look at David Pinkston. He is gaining a ton of time with the intermediates coming into play.
And right, that's exactly what I said. I said the intermediates I think are going to be a lot better here if the track starts drying out. The heavy wets are definitely going to die a lot quicker. Not that the intermediates won't, but right now this is perfect weather for the intermediate tires. So if E3 is going to have any chance of catching Colin, and Colin slipped up a little bit, that's going to allow a whole second and more going down the straightaway here.
That's one of the corners you don't want to mess up. You have to get a good run on that straightaway, and that's going to allow for Pinkston to gain a ton of time on the leader.
Yes. Under 2 seconds now. That was a huge squirrel by Colin there. I do think E3, he might put your money on him now, coming down to 10 minutes here of race time, and those intermediates are looking hooked up.
That could be his second win of the season. Be only the second multi-time winner this season, if he could get it done here tonight.
It's down under a second now, and he is in the draft for the first time tonight. I would look to make a move here soon. He is hauling down the straightaway.
Now, you got to be careful, though. That dry line is really starting to form, so that could easily burn up both the wets and intermediates pretty quick. So you'll probably see a lot of these guys ducking off of the racing zone, searching for, that wet on the asphalt to try to keep those tires cool, try to keep them from overheating to extend their life just about as long as they can.
Yeah, I think these guys might have like one more lap left in the tires. I think it's also starting to get dark out as well. E3 was searching for some water there, trying to cool down his intermediates. But this track is looking pretty dry right now. I really think they're going to have maybe a lap more on these tires at most. I mean, the dry line is really forming up. Like I said, E3 was searching for water.
Ooh, here it comes.
I think we got side by side.
Might be side by side off the corner. Yes, it does. David Pinkston Jr. noses ahead for the lead down the straightaway. He clears him.
Colin's getting right back to the back bumper. Let's see if he tries to make a move here going in the corner. I think he's just going to stand pat right behind him.
Who knows the tail for the two leaders? They both have an 8-second advantage over third place, Jack McKevitt. So they have a lot of playing room to mess around in.
I think Colin got a little squirrely again going through the S's here. He's going to lose a little bit of time to the leader. I think those, like I said, those intermediates are just hooked up a lot more than the heavy wets are. The track dried out so quick.
McKevitt going way off the racetrack, trying to keep them things cool. Who will be the first one to dug the pit road for dry tires, though? Because that could gain a lot of time. So you got to be careful, though, right now, because there's still a lot of puddles and stuff on the racetrack that you could easily hit and spin yourself out. But it could be a game changer. Ooh, some contact between Javen Tucker and Cross for that P4 spot. Oh, side by side. Cross forces Javen Tucker off of the thing. He gets reset. That is not at all what Javen Tucker wanted to happen. Oh, no.
I know Javen's been having a rough race, and I really don't think he's going to be really happy with how Cross drove him into that chicane there. And Cross goes wide himself now. They are just all struggling back there.
They might have a few words. Here comes Gavin Morrison. He's going to miss the racetrack.
Yeah, these guys are, I think these tires are getting to a point now. I have to believe these tires worn out super quick.
Oh, some damage to the left front of Jack McKevitt. I think he made some contact with the wall. Everyone going way off the racing line as Pinkston has gained over about a 2-second advantage now.
And personally, I was really surprised that no one tried to duck on the pit road there, people that were further back, because I think if you're further back than them, you have to flip the strategy. These guys stayed out, and I think if you want to win this race, you probably had a pit there if you were in the back, and just try something different. You know, you never know if the track's going to dry out, and maybe you can gain a lot of time on the slicks there, but obviously we don't have all the data here. We don't know what these drivers are experiencing. There's still a lot of spray coming off the back ends of these cars, but I also have to think these tires are just, you know, they're screaming right now, especially all the time that Colin lost. He's still looking for some damp parts of the racetrack, and E3 is kind of just setting sail right now. Those inners are, again, going to have a lot more life than those wets are.
Well, Colin McKevitt goes off the racetrack again, but you take a look at the tires. We can see it here in the bottom left hand of our screen in the telemetry. Those wets are just about halfway worn, and those things die fast. They fall off fast with grip wise, so they're probably feeling like bricks right now. Take a look at the intermediates. He still has just a little under 3/4 of his tires left, so those intermediates have hung on a lot better than those wets. Over a 3-second advantage now for Pinkston. We're still pulling away from the 3rd place and 4th place car, as I think Javen Tucker might be trying to get back to Cross. I wonder if there'll be any animosity there between them two.
Yeah, I think that was just some hard racing. I think, you know, they're just going, and these guys are, you know, really high up in the points as well, so it's not surprising to see no give and take there. I think they were just racing really hard, and Javen just kind of got the worst of that. He's had a frustrating day, but still P5. I think it's still going to be a pretty decent finish for the Porsche there. Or sorry, Toyota. I apologize.
We're closing in on the final few minutes of this thing. I think they might only be able to get maybe 2-ish laps left in this race. So do you risk it and try to stay out to the end? Or do you try to pit and gain that time back via the racing tires?
I really think if you're anybody from probably fourth on back from Cross behind, I think maybe you take a shot, you pit, you put on some slick tires and see if the other tires are going to wear out.
Oh,
really
Pinkston!
quick. E3 is coming into the pits, so he doesn't think he can make it.
What will Colin McKevitt do? McKevitt's going to stay out on the racetrack. We got some strategy here, boys.
This is going to be really interesting because it's going to be a long pit. But E3 was the leader. He's going to go on slicks. There should be about 2 laps of racing left, I believe. So we will see if E3 is able to make up all that time in 2 laps. Cross is also in.
Looks like they're splitting the field on strategy here. This could be a double podium for the McKevitt boys if they can hang on. Javen Tucker stays out also trying to gain some track position back.
Colin's tires are dying fast. I just was able to pull up the telemetry on my screen as well, and he is just going to absolutely have to search for any damn parts. That's going to get even harder for him. He's really squirrely there. It's going to get even harder for him to find it in the darkness right now. It is pitch black out there, and we're going to finish this race at night, it seems.
It seems like when it gets dark out there and you're on those wets, it's really hard to find the wet when you're on wets, and it's really hard to find the dry when you're on the dry tires. Pinkston actually cycled back out in 4th spot. He's only 20 seconds off of the leader.
I think that is just going to absolutely come down as fast as possible here. I think he is on a mission, and those tires for Colin, they are just screaming right now, especially the left rear. Every corner he goes, he is just ripping off rubber.
Yeah, there's really no place to hide for those wets anymore except for way off to the side of the racetrack. You see them dipping them to the puddles to try to cool them off. Man, you can almost see the steam coming off of them.
Definitely seems like we're going to have at least one more lap of racing. It doesn't seem like Colin or anyone's going to be able to hold up enough just to cross the line as when this hour passes. Coming to 3 minutes to go here. He's definitely going to have to run one more. And, you know, if this was the final lap, this was absolutely the right call here. But E3 is flying right now, and every corner they get to, he is just going to be taking chunks out of that lead. He does have to pass 3 cars, though. If anyone holds him up, he cannot have that happen. But if he's able to make clear of Javen, get around Jack, he definitely can set his sights on Colin and focus on that. I think he's going to be the guy that's going to be in victory lane here.
There's still a lot of racing for him to go through, but man, he has already gained over 2 or 3 seconds on the lead.
Yeah, it's not dwindling too much on the straightaways, but as soon as Colin gets to the corners, you can just tell how much E3 is taking out of the lead. And Colin is off the track a little bit. He is really struggling on those tires, but he is the top 3 have definitely hedged their bets.
Oh, Jack McKevitt hard to the outside wall. He's got a tire down. Jack McKevitt way off of the racetrack. He's going to lose a lot of time.
Right in front of Javen.
Oh, they made contact. Contact between the two. Here comes Javen or David Pinkston. Pinkston's going to sit into the inside.
Jack's left rear is completely gone. I think he's going to have to pit just to finish this race. I don't think he can go around one more time.
Yeah, I think Jack's race might be over at that point. Heavy, he's got engine damage and everything to that thing. That car will barely even go. What a massive incident for him.
Isaiah just pitted as well. He's going off the wet tires. His tires are also probably screaming. Like, he's right behind Javen now. He's got to get around him if he's going to have any chance at Colin. If Colin can just put one lap together, he's a 14-second advantage. He might be able to hold on to this thing, but it's going to be close. He's got to nurse this thing around for one whole lap.
Nose the tail. Pinkston's got to wait for the perfect moment. This will most likely be the last lap of the race right here.
E3 is really struggling to get around Javen. Javen's gonna hold him up a lot through this chicane.
This could be all she wrote for Pinkston. Oh, what a run off of the corner, though. He takes it to the outside. They're side by side.
He had to go into the damn part of the racetrack to make it happen, but he's got to go now. He's got one lap. One lap to catch.
Oh, sends it to the outside of Tucker. What a move.
Well, here's your race right here, Miles. He's got 13 seconds and 1 lap to go catch Colin. But Colin's tires, all 4, he's off the track. He's just nursing. You got to feel for him.
1 hour of racing all comes down to this. Pinkston is in the hunt. Can he get it done here at LeMans? As Jack McKevitt has pulled on the pit lane. 10 seconds now.
A little bit here down the straightaways. But the chicanes are just going to be really bad for the leader. 10 seconds, but no tires right now, and it is now under 10 seconds.
That tire is not going to survive this lap. Can Colin McKevitt survive? There it is, the final lap signal. So this will be the last lap of this race.
Colin is just trying to find any dampness he can right now, and rightfully so. He has to.
Yeah, that left rear on Colin McKevitt is completely gone. So he's going to have to be wary braking into the next corner because that thing could easily let go.
Seems to keep it all together there. He's having a decent corner.
Oof.
Slides a little bit.
Trying to go. Oh, no! There he goes! Colin McKevitt's around on the lead, backs into the wall. That's going to cause a lot of damage. Here comes David Pinkston passing for the lead. This could be for the win if Pinkston can hang on to it. But I think he's going to be able to. What a tough break for Colin McKevitt after dominating this race.
Yeah, there's no one else right now. The next battle is going to be Cross. I think Cross might be able to pull off a second here possibly because Javen is on absolutely no tires as well. Cross is running him down, and we'll be running Colin down. If there's any more mistakes by these second and third place guys, Cross is going to be able to easily take a second place if he can just hold on to the car here.
Yeah, Pinkston has already pulled away to over a 6-second advantage, and this could be all she wrote. Gavin Morrison hanging on back there. I don't know.
It seems he got around Jack. I think Jack had a moment at the beginning of the last lap. I think he lost another spot because of it. But yeah, it seems like E3 is going to bring this one home, barring any major mistakes here. As long as he doesn't back that car up.
Oh, someone went way off the... Isaiah Smith stuffed it in the wall. Completely missed the turn.
Colin's off again, I believe.
Yes, he is. And he's about out of gas, too.
And everyone, this is just completely unwrapped for the McKevitt boys, both of them. And Colin just ran such a dominant race. You have to feel for him. Hopefully going to get a podium here, but Cross is lurking behind them. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get there, though.
It's really going to make a huge difference of what happens in these next couple turns. As we see Pinkston come down through the final couple chicanes. David Pinkston, what a race and what a strategy. 2 more chicanes to go for him. And he is going to do it at Le Mans. David Pinkston Jr. wins his 2nd race of the season and wins the hour-long race at Le Mans.
Hey, how about that? That was a really good finish there. Congratulations, E3. And
I don't know what happened there. I guess the race ended. We changed it to that's not good. But David Pinkston Jr. pulls off the victory. Man, what a finish. Let's take a look at the final lineup here. David Pinkston Jr. won the race after surviving there. Colin McKevitt, P2, P3, Javen Tucker, P4, Cross Albert E, P5, Gavin Morrison, P6, Jack McKevitt, P7, will be Board Warden, P8 will be Isaiah Smith, and then I believe Magic Slinky and, of course, you. But, man, what a race. Let's talk to the winner here tonight. Let's see if we can talk to David Pinkston. What's up, David? Man, what a win here tonight. How are you able to pull that one off?
Yeah, I got really lucky with that weather on at the end there. I figured that it wasn't going to be worth it to be on the intermediates for too long, so I had to switch at the end as soon as it's available to do so. And that's what got me the win.
Well, congratulations on another win, and man, what a race. Let's talk to the P2 finisher. Let's talk to, I believe that was Colin McKevitt. See if we can find him. Where is he at? What's up, Colin? Man, heartbreaking loss. Come up just to 1 spot short in P2. What exactly happened there at the end of the race?
You know, Miles, it's heartbreaking, but I can't be mad about it. E3 had a very good strategy. He went to the inters. I thought the rain was going to be longer, and I went to the wets just like just about everyone else did. And then he was able to pit for dries, and then he had a good run to the end, and I didn't. Once my wets were fully red, there was no chance.
Oh, congratulations on the P2 finish. It was fun to watch. And I believe we have one more podium finisher. Javen Tucker actually got on the podium. Let's talk to him real quick. Man, what's up, Javen? I don't know how that all sorted out there at the end, but able to come on a P3 finish. How are you feeling after that one, and how are you able to survive?
Felt a little frustrating. I mean, we had the speed, I feel like, to really go win, but every time we could get up near the front or near a car, it just something would happen and we would get damaged or get spun, and it was just, I don't know how we ended up in 3rd, but I'm glad we did.
Well, congratulations on the P3 finish. That should help you in the points lead. That's gonna do it for drivers interviews, but thank you, Dante, for joining us in the booth, and man, that was a fun race to watch. So Dante, you have anything else to add?
That was really fun being in the booth as well, and I had a lot of fun commentating that one. And you know, it's probably a bad thing that I was in the booth since we had such a bad race there, but definitely was a lot of fun to be here with you.
Well, thank you all for watching. That was your hour late race of Le Mans. The GTO Hour Le Mans, David Pinkston Jr., your winner of the Crown Jewel event. We will see you next race for another great event. I believe it is karts at Miyabi, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching the Hour at Le Mans. David Pinkston, your winner.